And we're back. Welcome to another episode of Successful Marketing and Sales for and Relationships for adult small business owners and entrepreneurs, where we help you sell what you make. I am your host, best-selling author Sadon Long, and we are that much closer to Christmas. We're almost at the end of October, which means that we are fastly approaching Black Friday. We're fastly approaching Small Business Monday, and if you don't have a sales plan, make sure you go over to grundandrich.com right now so we can help you put one together so you can make this the best holiday season ever. But today we're talking about branding. Branding. Well, why are we talking about branding? First of all, the reason we're talking about branding, first of all, is that it's something that people talk about all the time. Your brand, your brand, your brand. But how often do people talk about how you marry your branding to your sales so that it makes your sales go up and your branding work better? Well, today I'm going to talk about some stuff that I've actually done with clients more than once to help them use branding to grow their sales. Because obviously that's kind of what you like, right? You like for your sales to grow. You like for your branding to be one of the reasons that it does grow. Because a strong brand makes it easier for you to charge a higher price, makes it easier for you to get sales because now you're getting inbound calls and you're not chasing customers around and you're not trying to sell on price because now you're selling on reputation. You're selling on expectation. When your brand is strong, you sell on expectations and reputation. What that means is that people expect to make a lot of money with you, or people expect for your problem solving skills to be better than everybody else's. They expect for the outcomes that you were creating to be better than everybody else's. So your reputation precedes you, as they say, or they're selling based on the value of you. A strong brand like Bentley, they don't expect it to be on sale. They expect it to be clean and pristine and run perfectly. So they come through the door knowing, hey man, this is probably going to cost me a lot of money, but I'm willing to spend it because it's going to solve my problem. It's going to give me the status that I want. It's going to put me in the rooms that I want to be in, and it's going to make me feel the way I want to feel. So branding is an important thing. But the thing is, how do we get branding that sells or that makes sales easier? Now, for a lot of people, they think branding, they think pictures, they think colors, they think fonts, they think how it looks. But the reality is, branding is about outcomes that you can create and the words that you use to describe the outcomes that you create and the words that your customers use to describe the outcomes that you create. So now let's get right down to it. Okay, there's three kinds of branding. I almost said branding. Okay, there's three kinds of branding. There's what you think you are, there's what people say you are, and there's what people who experience you say you are. I'm gonna repeat that one more time. There are three kinds of branding. There's what you say you are, there's what people say you are, and there's what the people who've experienced you say you are. Let's look at it like this. Now you could say, no, matter of fact, let's use Whole Foods. Whole Foods says, hey man, we're the whole food company for the healthy people, people who want nutritious, delicious food. That's what they may be saying about themselves. Okay. Now, somebody else who maybe isn't a Whole Foods customer would be like, man, they're more like Whole Check because they heard it was expensive. So now you're saying you're healthy, nutritious, and delicious. They're saying you're very expensive. Now the person who's done business with you is walking around going, man, it's worth every dime. So you see how you can have three different opinions of the same thing? Now, in order for it to make sense to your new customers and your potential customers, first of all, it has to be very clear. You know, Now, when I'm working with clients, usually what I try to do is I try to find a niche that is narrow but deep. Now, when I say narrow but deep, I mean that I'm talking to a specific group of people, but that there's a lot of those people. Like maybe, for example, we're talking to self-employed people who don't have employees. Okay, because 8 out of 10 small business owners don't have employees. So yes, I'm talking about a very narrow group of people. However, there's a lot of them. So if you start talking about women of a certain age, you know, yes, it seems narrow, But there's a lot of women who fall into that age group. And there are women who are going to keep falling into that age group as they age into it. So you may look at something a little bit different once you understand, hey, I want to make a niche that's narrow but deep. So now once you get your niche narrow but deep, and I know you're saying, well, why do I need a niche? Why can't I just sell to everybody? Well, the reason you need a niche is because specialists can charge more than generalists. You know, ear, nose, throat, and doctor or a general practitioner does not make the same amount of money as a heart specialist. However, they work the same amount of hours to get their degree. They both had to go to college, they both had to go to medical school, they both had to go on their rounds. But the specialist makes more money. Why? Because there's something in particular that they do better than anybody else. So you have to find that niche. Okay. Now, the second reason, somebody needs to find a niche is because it makes the customer feel like you're working specifically to solve their specific problem, that you feel like they feel like you know them. Like, man, he really gets me. He really understands me. So now they feel connected to you. And if they feel connected to you, that means they trust you. And if they trust you, they're a lot more willing to give you their personal information. Because when's the last time you gave your personal information to somebody you didn't trust? Had a client one time give somebody thousands of dollars just simply because they said that they worked with small business owners. Well, they work with small business owners, so I knew they was the one for me. You see it a lot of times with people who are tow companies. They talk about we tow luxury cars. So if you're a luxury car owner, you're like, cool. Because now there's a whole bunch of other things that you start associating with that particular brand because they say they work with luxury cars. So now you think your car's going to get the white glove treatment. You think they're going to put it, on a truck. They're not going to pull it. So all of a sudden, immediately trust goes up, confidence grows up, and guess what? They do business with them. So again, let me slow it down. Okay. You want to pick a niche, pick a group of people. I know for some, they may be thinking that that's going to limit the amount of people that are going to buy from me. But if you follow me, I always tell you this. There's about 20% of people who just don't care, period. They're not in the market for what you want. They don't need what you want. They're not interested in what you want. So those people automatically are just off the board. Now, on the other side, there's early adopters who absolutely love and need what you want, who absolutely love and need what you're selling them. I'm sorry. So let me repeat this again. Okay. There's about 20% of people who do not need, want, or care about what you want, what you're selling. There's about 10 to 15% of people, early adopters, people who really get in early, low-hanging fruit, who are going to absolutely love it. Typically, those people are already enthusiasts. You look at Harley Davidson. The people who wear the stuff, the people who ride the bikes, the people who have the wallets, that's only about 15%. But they're enthusiasts. And the cool part is that the majority of your business comes from the enthusiasts. And the reason that is because the enthusiasts are the people who do everything and they promote everything and they make it look really cool to that middle 65%. And about 35 of that 65% is going to be influenced by the top 15%. See, it's math involved in business that people never even talk about, especially in marketing. That 35%, those people are going to be influenced by the top 15%. You see it with iPhone. Your iPhone users walk around bragging about their iPhones all the time, bullying Android users into getting iPhones. Okay. Those ones who are bragging about it, talking about it, showing it off all the time, standing in line, those people become like warriors for your brand. So those are the people that you want to try to get to as soon as possible, the people who are enthusiasts. Because when you get to the people who are enthusiasts, the people who love it, the people who live it, the people who believe in it, those people are the ones who are going to then evangelize for you. Those are going to be the ones who check in. Those will be the ones who go live. Those will be the ones who are always promoting you. Remember, we talked about in the beginning, there's three kinds of brand. There's the what you say, there's what people say, and then there's what the people who experience you say. That top 15% are going to be the first people who experience you. So you want to try to talk directly to them. You know, and if you're self-employed with no business help whatsoever, like you're doing your own marketing or you're hiring a marketing person or you're hiring a person to post, it saves you a whole lot of time and makes you a whole lot more money because now you don't have to try to create stuff for everybody. Now you just have to talk to the people who you know have the problem that you're uniquely gifted to solve and are willing and ready to solve it. So you save a lot of time by niching down. You save a lot of time because now your marketing only has to speak to this specific group. You know, every time you post, you can say, attention, self-employed business owners without employees who make less than $50,000. You know, attention, single ladies looking for a man this holiday season. You know, attention, people who love fried fish and don't want to make it. You know, attention, people who love cakes from scratch but don't know how to make them. You know, so now, because you niche down, you're only getting people you can close. And when you're busy, oh my God, when you're busy, somebody who's easy to close, somebody who already comes to you 75% closed, comes to you already knowing that they want to do business, already made up their mind that they want to do business with somebody like you. All they need to know is where they send their money to and when do they start. Whew, man, it makes things a whole lot easier. Which can then make up for some of the people that you maybe had to give a deal to. It can make up for some of the people who are slow payers, people who still owe you money. You know, because if you get some people who are really enthusiastic about what you do, maybe they'll cover a few bills enough times to where some of those other customers won't even matter as much. You know, I'll give you an example. You know, I sent out an invoice a couple weeks ago. Sent it out at 11. By 11:03, they paid it. But they really love the work. So if they really love the work, why not get more people like that? Why not get more people who see the need and the value in what you do and are willing to send you customers because they believe and see the value in what you do versus trying to market to everyone, versus trying to recruit everyone, versus trying to do something for people who don't want it. Focus on the people who do. Focus on the people you are uniquely gifted to serve and create an outcome for. The people you can get the best results for. And if you do it well enough, those people will bring you more people. Because now the quality of the work will go up. See, when you get somebody who's not sure, who's not motivated, who's not willing to work hard, who's not willing to do the things that you need them to do in order for you both to be successful, it just makes you frustrated. It burns you out. It makes you not want to get out of bed. It makes you not want to do the work. Because those people, number one, are not going to bring you any referrals. Number two, they're still going to get a benefit because you're going to do whatever it is that you do really, really well. So they're going to get the benefit from it. And then they usually typically don't want to pay you. It's amazing, I know. But there are going to be people that you do really great work for who are then going to take the credit for the work, even though they did nothing other than be in the room with you doing the work. You know, you're going to sew the outfit, and then they're going to like, yeah, girl, I look good. You know, they're not going to say, you know, Sandra did this, or Sarah did this, or, you know, my stylist did this. They're going to take the credit for it. So now they take the credit. They don't pay you right. And they don't get your referral. So now you got to go out and find a way to pay your bills, find another customer, and that customer is like a ghost because it's like you never worked with them. You know, ideally, what you want are people who are going to post about you. Ideally, what you want are people who are going to say nice things about you. Ideally, what you want are people who are not ashamed to give you credit or too egotistical to give you credit. You know, you want people who are going to confidently say, this person was vital in our progression. This person was integral, essential to the job. Because that's how you build your brand. Because remember what we said, there's three ways. There's what you think you are, what people say you are, and then what people who experience you are. Now, it is very important that you're clear on what you are. The problem you solve, the people you help, and how good you are at it. Again, it is very important to your sales that you are clear on the problem you solve, the people you solve it for, and how good you are at it. You know, are you faster than most? Are you easier to work with than most? Whatever it is, you want to have those things. Why? Because when you send out people to help you, you need them saying what you want them to say. Not diminishing you, not minimizing you, not misrepresenting you, but being very clear about what you do and the value you provide. Value meaning what else you get, the benefit of doing business with you, both in the present and over time. So that's what you need. You need to be able to tell somebody when they go out, here's what you say. I'm typically the person that self-employed people turn to when they can't sell what they make. What I've been able to do in the short term is help them grow their customer list and start converting way more sales than they were before so that they can start paying their bills. Now, over time, there's a domino effect. And what happens in that domino effect is that they're able to get those customers, and then I show them how to keep those customers, and I show them how to keep them buying, also while raising their price so they see a bigger profit margin. And I get them to bring them more customers. And I show them how to do things like this so that the customers that they do get not only bring them customers, but attract customers with the testimonies that they give. So now when somebody's in the party and they're like, man, I need somebody, to help me with my business. I need somebody to help me get customers. I need somebody to help me grow my business. All the people I've sent out are now recruiting for me. You should call my guy. Oh my God, I was just talking to somebody the other day. Man, you should call my guy. Or you should call my girl. So now, because you've been very clear on what you are, you're able to then send people out to find you business. And if you're self-employed, man, and you don't have a team, you need this, don't you? I mean, imagine how much easier it'd be if you were sitting at your desk doing work, working on your deliverables, and the phone rang, or the inbox binged, or the email pinged, or whatever that stuff does. And somebody was on there going, hey, I talked to so-and-so and they said I should call you. Hey, I talked to so-and-so and they were talking about, getting, a dress design for their wedding and I had them call you. Hey, I talked to somebody and they said they need an event catered and they told me to call you. Imagine that. And if they called and wanted to pay you a price, and you didn't have to haggle with them, you didn't have to discount, you didn't have to go through this whole speech about how I can't give you what you want for that price. Because when you send people out and they're not very clear on what your message is, they're not very clear about who you are and what you stand for, what ends up happening is now they attract customers to you or bring customers to you who don't see the value in you either. Somebody's going to come to you and say, hey, I need you to help me plan this event. And instead of them coming to you knowing that they're coming to one of the best in the city or one of the best in the region or one of the best in whatever part of the country you're in, they're coming to you thinking that you're just like everybody else and that basically they're doing you a favor. When in actuality, it's the other way around. Had a client one time. We were talking about catering, and I was telling her how her wait staff was important. I'm like, because your wait staff is recruiting new business. And the way that they're recruiting new business is by how they treat the people at each one of these tables. So if you hire wait staff and they're friendly and they're energetic and they're fast and they're constantly bringing the water back, they're constantly bringing back refills, and they're making sure everybody's good and thanking everybody and cleaning out the plates, everybody at that table is going to tell somebody how great it was. And they're not even going to be talking about the event. They're going to be talking about the service. They're going to be talking about you, which is then going to say, well, who catered that event? That was so-and-so. And now so-and-so is getting phone calls. And the person who had the event, they're going to get all of this press, all of this praise. I don't know who the people that did your catering was, girl, but they were awesome. And if you get the right customer, that customer is going to then pass your card out because they want to get more of that same praise. They want to develop their brand and their reputation as somebody who only works with top-notch people. So, again, all of this stuff goes hand in hand. Now, because when people start to experience it, and you set this really high bar, you set this really high standard, and what you set in your marketing and what you set in your messaging and your ads and your posts and your flyers and your videos, it lines up. Now, when they go out telling people that what you said is what actually happens. And a matter of fact, they go out and they say, man, you exceeded our expectations. Now, here's why you want to exceed the expectations of your customer. Number one, because it keeps them your customer. Number two, because it gives them something to brag about to other people. Number three, because it makes sure that your competition can never steal them. So now you have a customer that's loyal to you. You have a customer that is bringing you more customers. You have a customer who is promoting you to people who eventually may need what you do themselves. So now you got business in the short term, and then you probably got some business in the long term, in the long run too. Because you set a standard and you've exceeded the expectation. See, anybody can do most of this stuff, but not everybody can do it well. Especially when you look in the service industries. Because the service industries, the reason people jump into them so easily is because the barrier of entry is very low. People start making pans of macaroni and green beans in their kitchen. So they didn't have to go out and get a commercial kitchen. They started right at home. They start making plates. So now somebody who makes plates and makes macaroni in their kitchen is competing against somebody who's got this $1,500 a month space. And in some cases, the people are going to go with the person who's doing it in their kitchen. But if you're the person that has the space, not only do you have to set a higher standard, you also have to remind potential customers, this is a clean, sanitary space. We don't know what's going on in these people's houses. We don't know whose hands have been in that food. Here, it is made specifically for the client and only for the client. Here, the space is clean. The health inspectors come. And you can trust and count on every meal that we make meets a certain standard. But because the barrier of entry is so low, everybody thinks they can get into it. You got people who have competition level grills, with years of experience. And then you have other people who barbecuing in the back, and now all of a sudden decide they want to get into the barbecue game. But again, you have to do things like say, hey, man, this is competition level. This is made with cherry wood. This ain't, charcoal with a bunch of light around a Weber. We have organic ribs, we have special seasonings. You know, this has been smoked for 24 hours, and it helps when you say these things if you have people who've experienced it. Because now it starts to move you up the ladder. It starts to make it easier for you to get your price. It starts to make it easier for you to get the good customers. But if they think that you're the same as somebody who's doing it when they get off work from their job, what's the incentive to pay you what you're really worth? When you're entering the service industry, the reason it is so competitive is because it doesn't take a whole lot to get started. You see the same thing with marketing. Every time I see somebody, they're going, I'm starting a marketing agency, or I want to do marketing, or we do the same thing. And there are people who were literally not hired me in the past. Yes, I laughed. You're right. There are people who literally didn't hire me in the past and hired somebody else only to find out that we don't do the same thing. Only to find out that I've helped people make millions of dollars. I made it easier for them to get, keep, and close more customers. I made it easier for them to raise their price, to improve their profit margin. I put them in a position to hire the right people and to avoid hiring the wrong people. And the person they hired just took pictures and posted online. And they didn't get any customers out of it. But when it's competitive like that, because the water's so muddy, you need people to experience you so that you develop a brand and a standard based on what the people say. The people are going to say, hey, this person is amazing. The people are going to say, you're amazing. The people are going to say, hire her. You want people vouching for you, so you need to get as many people as possible to experience it. Now, one of the best ways to get people to experience your stuff, if you can't get customers, is to be cross-promoting with people who have businesses that do have customers. For example, if you know someone who has a bar, if you know somebody who has a bar, hey, let me make some free happy hour food for you. Hey, shout out Lisa. And sure, just leave me some in the inbox, or leave me, yeah, just inbox me. I'll follow up as soon as I get off. But again, you just serve them free food. So now people are there. You got free ribs, you got free sliders, you got free something in a bar where people are drinking and eating salty stuff and need to put something on their stomach. And next thing you know, you become that person's go-to. I remember being in Memphis, coming out of a club, and they had a whole competition level rig set up, selling sandwiches right off the grill, straight burgers, straight hot dogs, Polishes, the whole thing, fresh off the grill. I think the whole club bought. So now, whatever it is that you do, you just have to find somebody else who does it. You see people who have paint and sips. Bring your food to the paint and sip. So now you don't just do free stuff. You do free stuff in areas where people are going to be a part of the process that you fit into. Like, hey, they're going to be drinking, so they got to eat. So that's always a really great thing. If you know people in boutiques, you offer some free samples of your lotions in the boutique. Every time somebody buys a dress, girl, give them a bottle of this shea butter. Now, yes, that's going to be a negative investment for you in the beginning. But you need people to experience it. And if you get people to experience it, then you need to then go back and get these testimonials. And not testimonials in the sense that, ooh, that's my girl, you need to check her out. I'm talking about transformation. What were you struggling? Okay. Here's what you need in every testimonial. Number one, you need to know where the person started. Okay. What were they struggling with when they started looking for someone like you? That's the first thing. Number two, when did they know they made the right decision? When did it start working for them? When did they see this was a good choice? Number three, what are they able to do now? That's what you need. Those are the three steps. What happened that made me want to do it? When did I know I made the right decision? And what am I able to do now? Okay. So if you start with where that person is right now, then other people who are at that point can then say, oh, that's me. You know, for some reason I couldn't sleep. And because I couldn't sleep, I knew I had to do something. People who can't sleep. Okay. So I saw this girl on the television and I was like, ooh, I'm going to order that. Okay. So when did you know you made the right decision? The first night I took it and I slept like a baby. And now I sleep like a baby every night. Testimonial. You know, I'll give you another really great example. You know, when I first started doing these digital marketing for women, you know, Tammy Moore reached out to me. And my birthday one year, she wrote this really beautiful post. If you go back and you put in Tammy Moore and Sedan, you'll see it on Facebook, if you're watching on Facebook. And she talked about how she had been looking for somebody to help her grow her business. You know, and she'd woken up one morning and I was doing a video just like I'm doing right now. And she called. And then she went on to talk about each and every step that I took her through to help her solve her problem. You know, how I helped her niche down, how I helped her create a better message, you know, how encouraging I was. And then what she was able to do after that is on full display. You know, so you need where they started, when they knew they made the right decision, and what they're able to do now. Because that's the thing that's really going to grow your brand. Because now you become the person who helps people do this. You know, and that's the outcome, not the problem. It's the outcome. You're the person that helps people get a good night's sleep. You're the person that helps people lose weight. You're the person who helps people impress their boss by throwing these really great parties. You know, you're the person, you know, who creates these beautiful, wonderful dresses. So when you get to that point, now your brand is built around what people are saying, which is ultimately going to help your marketing. You know, because then you can come back, you say, I'm the person that helps people get a good night's sleep. You know, I'm the person that helps people lose weight. I'm the person, you know, that provides you a great meal when you're hungry and you don't want to cook. You know, I'm the person that makes the cakes just like grandma so that you can take them to the holiday and be the belle of the ball and be the person that the people at the holiday love most. Yeah. And then if there is negative press, it won't really matter because you'll have so much good press because you'll be making sure that you get testimonials that are showing how you transform people and help them move from stuck to stunting, and it'll run smoothly. You know, because remember what we said that 35%, you know, the 35% that hasn't experienced you that are either going to be influenced by the people who don't do business with you or influenced by the people who absolutely love what you do. You want to make sure that the people who absolutely love what you do are having the effect on them that you need. You know, so again, holiday season's coming up. Anybody you've worked with this year that you can then circle back, double back to, triple back to. Yep, that's right, double and triple back. Get that referral, get that testimonial, get that video. Because those people are the people who've experienced you. And their credibility is going to go a long way to not only helping you through the holiday season, but into 2025. Because if you go back and you get that testimonial, you get that video of them talking about how great you are, or you get them to put it in print, then you can share it multiple times. You can repost it. You can screenshot it. You can do all that. You can post it on your website. So then that people see people who've actually done business with you saying that you're trustworthy. Now, if you haven't gotten any customers and you're just starting out, free. Get free people, not free people. Offer it to people for free. I'm sorry. But yes, offer it to people for free. Give them an opportunity to experience it. Give them an opportunity to see the benefit of it. That way, not only do you get to work out your kinks so that you can make a smooth product that helps people get to where they're trying to go faster, easier, with less stress, but then the people that you did help get there, you're able to then use them to build confidence with future customers. The first few customers I had, I was only charging like $100, $50. But the results were so crazy that they were going, hey, man, if you need marketing, call Sadon. Now, of course, yesterday's price eventually changed to what the price is today. But again, if it wasn't for those customers, if it wasn't for those people, if it wasn't for people I'd work with their kids or work with their small business promoting me, I wouldn't be where I'm sitting right now. Able to do videos in my shorts and a t-shirt. Shorts, like workout shorts, not like boxer shorts. So again, there's been another episode of Successful Marketing, Sales, and Relationships for adult small business owners and entrepreneurs. I'm your business big bro, Sadon Long, aka the most dangerous man in marketing, aka Mr. Better Than Your 401k. And as always, if you have any questions or concerns, you can always go to growandrich.com. There's a Make Money Fast button, or Fast Cash Call. Yes, Fast Cash Call. Click that button. It's going to send me an email. And I'm going to set up a time with you for us to talk. And when we talk, you can tell me everything that's going on and where you're trying to get to and what's working and what's not working. And then we'll figure out if it's a good fit for me to work with you, or if I could just give you a couple quick tips that'll help you move your business forward, which really isn't uncommon. Most of the time people get on these calls and they have something happen positively within 15 minutes of getting off the phone with me. Now, that doesn't always mean, they do $1 million in the next 15 minutes, but maybe they get one more sale, or maybe they get a referral, or maybe they get something that helps move the business forward after, just a few minutes of talking with me. If you watched me and Cam Bam on Instagram, she told you, man, that we talked while we were in vibrations, and, like within 5 or 10 minutes, it clicked. Like, oh, wow, I could do this and I could do that. So you don't want to be the person who goes into the holiday season and doesn't have the sales to support you first quarter next year, because there may be a lull, depending on what you do as a business owner, where people aren't doing business with you. So with that being said, man, I love you. It's been a pleasure. Shout out to Lisa who jumped on. Hopefully we'll get a chance to schedule a consultation. If you want to be somebody that I schedule a consultation with, again, man, make sure you go to growandrich.com. Because you have a choice. You could choose to keep doing what you're doing and getting the results that you're getting, or you could get you some help. But be honest with yourself. If you need help and you can't say beyond a shadow of a doubt, hey, man, I know how to get customers to call me. I know how to get customers to buy from me at my price. I know how to get customers who will then give me more customers. I know how to turn my website into a salesperson. I know how to send out emails that actually get open and have a click through. If you don't know those things well enough, and again, I'm saying well enough to make the kind of money you want to make, go to growandrich.com. This isn't about me. It's about you. Getting what you need to protect your family. Getting what you need to grow your business. Getting what you need to pay your bills. getting what you need to recoup your investment. I just want to help you do it. So, as always, man, I love you. Have a great day. I'm out.